On a cold November night in 1978, a quiet neighborhood in Briar Ridge awoke to screams and the glow of a fire that lit up the sky. At the center of it all was the Holloway house, a two-story home that, by morning, would be nothing more than charred ruins. But what's strange is that no one who entered that house that night was ever seen again. And to this day, no one knows why. Tonight, we revisit the last moments of the Holloway family, a story the locals still refuse to talk about. The Holloway house had stood for over 80 years at the edge of Briar Ridge. Its dark, weathered timbers were a reminder of another era, and so were its residents. Walter Holloway, a retired railroad engineer, his wife Margaret, and their teenage daughter Emily lived there quietly until that night. Neighbors said they kept to themselves, but odd details kept slipping into conversation. The way the windows glowed faintly at night when no lights were on, the strange shapes spotted in the upstairs window when the family was away, and the sound, a faint tapping, that could be heard if you stood outside the front gate after midnight. On November 12th at exactly 2:17 a.m., multiple witnesses reported a loud, metallic bang from inside the Holloway house, followed by a light so bright, it seemed to flash through every window at once. Moments later, flames erupted from the upper floor. But here's where it gets strange. Firefighters arrived within minutes. Yet the blaze, they said, didn't behave like any normal fire. It seemed to move, twisting and curling unnaturally, as if it knew they were trying to put it out. And though the Holloway should have been trapped upstairs, no one was seen in the windows, no cries for help, no shadows moving inside. By morning, the fire was out, but the destruction was total. Everything inside was reduced to ash, except for one thing, the fireplace in the living room. It was intact, untouched by flames, and inside it lay a single iron key still warm to the touch. Fire investigators couldn't determine the cause. There were no accelerants, no electrical faults, nothing. The official report listed it as undetermined. But locals whispered another story, that the Holloways had been involved in something old. Something that had been in that house long before they moved in. Some say the Holloways weren't the first to vanish there. In the early 1900s, the original owners, the Callow family, disappeared during a similar fire. Their bodies were never found. Others believe the house was built on the site of a much older structure, one belonging to a reclusive watchmaker who vanished under mysterious circumstances in 1885. His journals, if they existed, have never been recovered, though some claim the key found in the fireplace was one of his. And then there are those who swear they've seen the Holloways since, standing silently at the edge of the property on foggy nights, just beyond the reach of the streetlights. The Holloway house is gone now. In its place stands an empty lot, overgrown and silent, except, they say, for the faint sound of tapping that returns every November 12th, just after 2 a.m. Was it just a tragic fire? Or something far more deliberate? Something that doesn't just burn wood and brick, but swallows the people inside, leaving nothing behind but ash and a key. And if you ever find yourself walking through Briar Ridge on a cold autumn night, listen closely. The Holloway house may be gone, but some doors never stay closed.